Coming up in this next fight, if we disagree here, I might have to kick you off the show. We got Amanda Nunes coming up against Megan Anderson defending her. Amanda Nunes will be defending her featherweight strap here against Megan Anderson, who just seems like the UFC has been pushing her down our throat. Like Phil Hawes was one guy the UFC wanted us to love, and he's actually doing some decent stuff besides his one decision victory there against Nasruddin Imavov last time around. But what Megan Anderson comes into the UFC, they throw her Holly Holm right off the bat, and she cracks Holly Holm and turns Holly Holm into a wrestler. And when have you ever seen Holly Holm wrestle in a fight? And she had to do it that night, and she did it very successfully too. So not a good look right off the bat. So we see Holly Holm go out there, get a decision victory pretty much through grappling. Next fight out, we see Kat Zingano go in there. Megan Anderson, I believe, was a little bit of a favorite in that fight. And then we get that weird ass finish where she throws a head kick, apparently scratches the eyeball of Kat Zingano with her toenail, wins that fight, and starts celebrating like she legitimately won that fight. So that just shows you where her confidence level is at for that fight. Comes into her next fight, Felicia Spencer, 2 inches shorter than one Amanda Nunes, gets her down with relative ease and sinks in that choke, gets a submission victory relatively quickly. Then goes out there and gets absolute softballs with Zara Farn and Norma Dumont, who just, ate that one shot and just didn't want any more of it. You think Amanda Nunes is going to go down that easy? You got another thing coming for you. So I think this fight could be as easy as Amanda Nunes getting one takedown and then locking up a choke. I think that her best path to victory is submission. But then you put yourself into that weird conundrum where you're like, you got the back mount. Do you go for the ground and pound, or do you try to find that neck and get the submission? And either play could hit there. But I think she's going to be seeking the choke more than anything, just to make sure that she, one, doesn't give up her position too bad by just wailing on Megan Anderson from the back, and two, secure that victory. Let's put this girl out and ensure we get that victory. So the spot that I'm targeting here is Amanda Nunes, first round. I think plus 170 is a good spot for it. I just don't see how Megan Anderson truly gets out of this fight without getting taken down and getting submitted. Does Megan Anderson knock out Amanda Nunes here? You get plus 1250, I believe the line is on her KO prop. And even that's not good enough for me to want to sprinkle a little bit on it. So I like Nunes here. We don't need to get too far into this fight. I think me and you share the same sentiments here. I'll let you say your piece. But the spot that I'm going to be aiming for is the Amanda Nunes round 1, plus 170. And just to be on the safe side, if you want just some sort of insurance in case Megan Anderson makes it out of that first round. Round 2 is plus 300. So I think that's even a better spot as well if you think that Megan Anderson survives that first round. So yeah, I like Nunes here, even though under 1.5 if you want to cover that Hail Mary potential KO for Megan Anderson. But I don't think this fight sees that third round. I like Nunes here, and I like her first round submission plus 170. How are you seeing this?
Yeah, so we agree and we disagree. I mean, I got also Amanda Nunes. She's the GOAT for a reason. She's defeated everybody that they put in front of her in just like spectacular fashion. Whatever you're good, I'll do better. Stands with Holly Holm and head kicks are just to prove a point. Like, yeah, she really is on another level, but I don't love her by first round finish, to be honest with you. I mean, she's got a tendency to kind of take a little bit too much time. And honestly, this is just my take. I don't think she's motivated. I don't think she's motivated for this fight at all. I mean, you look at her run, and she's fought all the best girls in the world, right? She's got a knockout win over Ronda Rousey, who is the GOAT. She's got a knockout win over Chris Cyborg, who is the GOAT. She's got a knockout win over Holly Holm, who's in the contention for GOAT. She absolutely ragdolled Jermaine Duran to me for 5 rounds, who's a former world champion. She's fought all the best. She's got 2 fights with Valentina Shevchenko. Quite literally the only other girl who has an argument for being in the GOAT conversation with this girl, right? And she's got 2 wins over her. She's been there. She's done that. She's bought the t-shirt and she's wore it, right? She's now 32 years old. She's made millions of dollars. She's married to Nina Ansaroff, another UFC veteran, and they've just adopted a child. She's gone on record to be like, this training camp's been a lot different. And to be honest, you're not really seeing the killer instinct out of her that you were. And I think, again, it comes down to motivation. So you don't wake up and go run those miles. You don't run 5K first thing in the morning. You don't push your body. You don't get these hard sparring rounds in. You're the champ. You've made your money. 32 is not super old, but it's not exactly young either. And it's like, what motivates you? That next top challenger that's going to give you a problem, that motivates you. But she's not facing that. So the Jermaine Duran fight, she looked flat. She looked absolutely flat. Where was the world-class striking in that fight? She did not want to strike at all. She was like, I'm going to get this fight to the ground and hold her down. Where was the BJJ black belt there? Where was the submission game there? No, she was mostly just like, I'm going to make sure I'm winning these rounds by holding her down. And then the Felicia Spencer fight last time, Spencer took some shots, don't get me wrong. But it's like, again, you see her mostly going through the motions instead of like, oh, damn, she's coming out for that finish. And so as a result, we've got her last 2 fights going the distance, 25 minutes, and you see her take her time. So I think with Megan Anderson, she could go out there and get the first round finish. She's got the skills to go out there and get the first round finish. But like, who gives a shit about Megan? If you're the champ, this is what you're thinking. Who gives a shit about this girl, right? She's coming off a win over Norma Dumont, has set her up for a title fight. She's also coming off either the win over Zara Farron. Those are her two. She's got a 2-fight winning streak. 2. Not some long, lengthy winning streak. She hasn't defeated the top girls of the division. What motivates you? But this fight's also at 145. Amanda Nunes' best fights, no doubt about it. She can fight at 45, but like she's better at 35. At 45, she's not quite as strong. She's not quite as big. Her cardio is not quite as good. She's just not quite as good all around. So what you have when you have an unmotivated fighter who's taking this fight up a weight class, who's got now a baby in her personal life and has got other things coming, is that they don't quite take it as seriously. And as though I don't think this is a George St. Pierre, Matt Serra situation where it's like George was not motivated for that fight. Let's be real. He's fighting Matt Hughes. How do you go from fighting Matt Hughes to fighting Matt Serra at that time? You know what I'm saying? Dude won the Ultimate Fighter. Beat Chris Lytle in the finals. Actually, fuck, I can't even turn. There's the poster.
Oh, hey.
Ultimate Fighter 4 finale, bruh. The comeback. Right?
I love it.
Patrick Cote almost got a title fight. Only Travis Lutter put him away. And then Travis Lutter gave Anderson Silva a go for 1 round.
1 round.
I mean, MMA is a crazy thing. We've seen it happen before. Could happen again, right? I think an unmotivated, out of shape version of her still wins this fight. It's just, I don't think she finishes this fight in the first round. So looking at the overs on this, the overs just look too good to pass up. Mainly the over 1.5 minus 130. The over 2.5 plus 170. I don't really feel great going beyond that. But again, when you look at Amanda Nunes, she was expected to finish Germaine Durandamy. Absolutely was expected to, okay? She had finished Raquel Pennington, Chris Cyborg, and Holly Holm lead again. Germaine Durandamy can't wrestle. Germaine Durandamy has no submission defense. She's supposed to finish that fight, but she doesn't. The Felicia Spencer fight, I mean, this is another spot where you have Amanda Nunes coming in as a minus 650 favorite, okay? Felicia Spencer has 9 pro fights coming in from Invicta. She's going to finish this fight, but she doesn't. You know, and even going back to that Raquel Pennington fight, it's a late 5th round stoppage after Raquel told her corner after the 4th round, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like Amanda Nunes has got all the skills in the world. She is the lady GOAT. I do agree with that. But is she a first round finisher all of a sudden? I'm not so sure. So as far as a prop goes, because you can't bet this thing straight up. No. As far as a prop goes, I think I'm going to go the over 1.5 and a slight sprinkle on the over 2.5, which I know goes against what you're saying, but we do have her ultimately winning.
No, for sure. The concern that I have here is I can't get that Felicia Spencer fight out of my mind with Megan Anderson. Like, she gives out that choke pretty easily, and given that Nunes, I believe, is a much better black belt than one Felicia Spencer, I see Megan Anderson just giving up that back, and we see a quick Nunes finish here. But you do have some solid points what the narrative is going into this. Is she motivated? Is she waking up to run those 5Ks in the morning and all that type of stuff? Personally, I don't even think she needs to train for this fight to win this fight. Just lean on that black belt in jiu-jitsu, get this fight to the ground as soon as you can, and try to lock in that sub so we don't have to worry about that over hitting here. But yeah, so you're going with the over 1.5, obviously picking Nunes. I'm going with the first round Nunes finish. Let's see who comes out on the winning end next weekend. All right.